Hello, everyone. There will be a very important celestial event which will have impact on the world, also on each of our horoscopes. This is the change of the positions of the lunar nodes. They move backwards, as you know, and according to the Babylonian sidereal zodiac, on the 26th of March this year, 2022, they will enter sidereal Aries and Libra, because they move both just against each other. They form opposition of 180 degrees. So Rahu, the head of the dragon, will enter sidereal Aries, starting from the 30th degree of Aries, the last degree, because they move backward. And Ketu enter sidereal Libra, again starting from the 30th degree of Libra, leaving Scorpio. Up until now, for the previous 18 months, the two lunar nodes, the head of the dragon, the tail of the dragon, were in the two very important points, which were as if they're exalted. This we cannot call classical exaltation, but Rahu in Taurus and Ketu in Scorpio felt comfortably, and this is considered to be their hidden place where they felt they would give the most of their powers. Now, there is too much about them to say. I will tell you that we do not have clear Babylonian or Sumerian mythological stories about them. Maybe we do not recognize them as such. Could be that the dragon Tiamat is related to them. Most probably it is. Later on, the traditional astrologers like William Lilly, even Ptolemy of the first century after Christ, would also discuss them as very malefic. He would say that if you have, let's say, Rahu on the ascendant in Aries, this would give bad things. There are also discussions which planets their nature is associated with. I can tell you that I noticed through the years that indeed they are not benevolent. No, they are very karmic. And I also noticed that, let's say, when you have them conjoined good planet, somehow their energy is also becoming a bit softer, and the opposite would be valid if they would be conjoined with bad planets. And now you have some mythological stories coming more from the traditional astrologers, but I find very applicable the Indian Vedic story of mythological story, which comes from the epic of Mahabharata. It is that very briefly, just to remind you, before we discuss how they will influence the world, our ascendants, I will list briefly the 12 ascendants, and yes, what to expect for the next 18 months, because we're counting from 26th of March to 13th October 2023, total change of the energies. Now, indeed, let's look briefly, very briefly, at the story, the way I remember it after I read it. So the gods wanted to create the elixir of life. You know, the gods, well, the divinities somehow were always concerned with immortality. So they wanted to create the elixir of life, which was supposed to give them eternal life. And they created it with the help of demons. One of them was Rahu. But then the gods would not like to give from the elixir to the demons, because who wants demons to live forever? So one of the demons, Rahu, managed to transform himself into a beautiful girl in order to get the elixir of life. So he drank, but then the two lords, the Sun Lord and the Moon Lord, saw that. that he drank from the elixir of life. And they said it to Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu cut the demon Rahu in 2 pieces. But he already swallowed part of the elixir to his throat. That's why we have the eternally living head of the dragon and tail of the dragon, because Lord Vishnu cut the demon into 2 pieces. It was dragon demon. So this here we have Rahu and Ketu, the head of the dragon and the tail of the dragon, which forever remained enemies of the sun and the moon. This is why we know that they cause the eclipses, Rahu and Ketu, the 2 lunar nodes, the points where the moon is intersecting the path of the sun. So this is briefly the story to give you idea that Rahu is about ambition, desiring to materialize things, having desiring to live, to manifest, to experience, to cheat, to create illusion. Because remember, in the story, he turned himself into illusionary beautiful girl, which he was not, because he was a demon. And Ketu is the tail, which is detaching. So Rahu would mean what we want to achieve, to manifest, to experience. He is the future. And Ketu will be about freeing, detaching from, liberating from. And here we go. Let me bring you back to the previous 18 months, just 18 months behind. What happened when we had these 2 Rahu? The head of the dragon was in Taurus, and Ketu, the tail of the dragon, was in Scorpio. The places so-called exaltation places. What we had, they would be very strong there. They would really manifest the most of their energies and powers. So Rahu in Taurus gave what? What is this axis of Taurus, Libra, of Taurus, Scorpio? The most potent, the most powerful axis in the zodiac, because in these places are associated with 2 very powerful animals, the great bull on the sky, the scorpion on the sky, axis of power, axis of money, axis of achievement, axis of very much associated with finances. So what we are noticing, what we've been noticing, was totally impact on the world finances and economy, modification of the financial system of the world. And of course, you relate this to the past eclipses, which obviously, because of the placement of Rahu and Ketu in Scorpio Taurus, they also took place in this axis, 2 axis Scorpio Taurus. So you see, the eclipses will complete their mission in Taurus, in Scorpio, until 26th of March, which will be total modification, change of the financial system of the world. And you see this happening, unfortunately, maybe, or it is meant to happen. Maybe not unfortunately, because these are 2 very karmic points. Yes, you say the whole zodiac is karmic. It is karmic. Everything that is happening is somehow, of course, according to the Hermetic principles, happening because of the great harmony between the sky above and us here below. It is so. But how we experience these events is another story. So yes, you see, the great changes of the world finances are on the way. We saw them happening, and now there will be total change of the situation, because you see, Rahu is entering Aries and Ketu is entering Libra. And here the energies will shift into something different. And I want to bring you back to another event. If you remember, I think last year somewhere, September, October, November even, I was explaining you, and I was a little bit concerned with the fact that Mars will rise heliacally for the first time in Scorpio, on a position in Scorpio, pretty much associated with, hard energies, hostilities. And I then was telling you that Mars completed his mission related to his first appearance in Virgo in November of 2000, end of October or November, I forgot, of 2019, when he brought to the world issue related to disease. And I told you that at the moment of his first appearance in Scorpio, this issue of disease will be completed. We will not hear any more about this. You can see my previous videos. I've been repeating this several times. And then I told you that with the appearance of Mars in Scorpio, he will bring hostilities, but not on the level of protests of people here and there. This I've been saying many times. And this is related also to what is happening now with Rahu and Ketu, because you see what happened. Mars appeared in Scorpio to start a new cycle of hostilities. We see this happening. And the lunar node Rahu, who is about what has to be achieved for the world, what will be manifested, what will be happening. He's about ambition, a bit of aggression. And he is entering Aries, the sign associated with the same ambition, aggression, standing for yourself, hostilities. So we have three factors. One, right now, astronomically, we are in mini era ruled by Mars, meaning any movement of Mars is very important for the world. Secondly, Mars heliacal rise started in November 2021 in Scorpio, where Mars is starting his path promising hostilities, war, hostilities. This is valid for the next 15 to 17 months. Third, Rahu entering Aries. Eclipses happening this year, 4 eclipses in Aries, 2023, Aries Libra, 2023, the same, 4 eclipses around the lunar nodes. So, yes, the world will be free from the disease situation. Yeah, this is much better, of course, because this was totally inappropriate shock for us. But then we will be facing another situation, which is more about hostilities, but not this type of hostilities when people go on the street to protest and to voice their concern. It will be most probably warlike hostilities, which actually is happening. But it may continue for the next 15 to 17 months because of the position of the lunar nodes, but also because of the first heliacal rise of Mars, as I explained you months ago. Now, this is not necessarily that bad because people can also become very standing on their feet, very driven, to especially people who would have ascendant Aries, let's say. Now, very important is also, I keep speaking about Rahu and I forget telling you about Ketu, the lunar node, which enters Libra, the tail of the dragon, associated with what we detach ourselves from. So, Ketu in Libra, the sign of what? This is the sign of balance, design, exact knowledge, talents, creating beauty. It is about the true talent. And look what is happening. Ketu in Libra, we will be lacking balance. We need to in ourselves, which our one of us to work on re-establishing balance with nature, because Ketu Rahu will be a lot about balance. This will be our challenge. Balance. This is the key. Maybe if we forget about anything that I just said, balance would be the most important word, because Ketu will be challenging this, our balance with nature. Another thing I'm noticing, because Ketu is known to detach from things, Libra like things, art, beauty. Like we will probably not be able to witness true beautiful art. And here I always think of the following. You know, I was thinking, this era, when we have all these amazing Italian opera singers, which were born in nearly the same period of time, let's say Verdi, with Puccini, with Rossini, with Bellini, and more, Donizetti, they were, you know, they were groups, most of them were a group of friends, which were born in nearly the same time of the cycle, astronomical, and they would have this friendly circle. They would visit the same cafe. Imagine them in Italy, drinking their espresso in the same cafe. But why? Why were they born in this very same cycle? How come the sky produced these great musical talents, which this was never repeated? It happened once only. And this is because there were these, I'm still researching this, but my thoughts are that certainly the lunar node Ketu was not in Libra, was not in Taurus, to detach us from the true art, from beauty, appreciating art, from fine art, from finesse. And unfortunately, we will see worsening of the art, because contemporary art is maybe not even art. We will see worsening, we will see lack of taste, lack of finesse, lack of artistic and lack of balance. This for sure. So we need to have this own mission, responsibility to restore the balance, the beauty, justice. Libra is justice, lack of justice. We will see lack of justice. Like we will think that the ones responsible for the fake things happening on earth for the last 2 years, we will hope they will be punished. Well, with Ketu in Libra, I doubt it. I do doubt it, because there may be lack of justice, lack of balance, and we need, you know, because astrology is not, we're doomed, this is happening, that's it. No, the main indications will be showing us the right, our right attitude, what to do. Now, yes, and of course, Rahu will be searching. Well, Rahu in Aries, I forgot to tell you, in the meantime, he will be with Uranus, because Uranus is staying in Aries until somewhere in 2024. So all the time, Rahu will be with Uranus. Expect new inventions. Expect new, very sharp, surprising inventions, not in harmony with the humanity. Uranus, I don't like to say Uranus with Rahu can be this threat indeed for nuclear stuff. Probably this will not be happening because we need additional factors, but threat, hostility, here and there conflicts, warlike conflicts. But you can see that I've been saying this in October and November of 2021. But this is more or less what they will bring for the next 18 months. Let's see now each of the 12 ascendants And then I'll be telling you also some of the important periods. One period a bit critical, you know, is when Mars is entering Aries, which is end of June until 10 of August. This is period which is a little bit critical. Then we have again Mars entering Gemini, critical period, 16th of October until mid-November. Then again Mars entering Gemini, March 13 to 2023 already, to 10th of May, critical. Then Mars enters Libra, October 3, 2023 until 13th of November 2023. Also, additional reason why this is so important, so critical for the world is that while this is happening and we have Uranus and Rahu in Aries, Saturn is squaring the whole picture until end of January 2023. This is the more critical period. After that, we have another cycle after January of 2023. But Saturn is in Capricorn until this date. So you will see that this is a bit more critical. However, my opinion still is that the last 2 years were more critical, harder for us, for the humanity. So let's see what is happening, first of all, with people who have sidereal ascendant Aries or moon in Aries, or let's say that you want to follow your modern zodiac, then it will be Taurus ascendant. Now, what is the lunar node Rahu in your ascendant and Ketu in your 7th house bringing? First, this is for the next 18 months, starting from end of March 2022, count 18 months ahead. This is a bit for you, this can change your drive. You will be having maybe more, this can change totally your view on the world, your plans. You'll be driven, very driven to achieve your plans. Could be, depending on the position of Mars in your horoscope, that you become more athletic, more concerned with your health, with yourself. What I think that may be a little bit challenging during this period of time is your romantic life, your relationship. There you may need to be a little bit cautious because of Ketu in your 7th house. There you may need to be cautious during his whole cycle. This can also, especially until end of January 2023, this will trigger the changes related to your professional life. You will go through changes of your professional life, your personally how you will feel. Your personality may change a little bit. Your ambition, your plans, this will shift. This is not necessarily bad. Depends how you work with these energies, of course. People who have sidereal ascendant Taurus or moon in Taurus, or if you're following the modern tropical zodiac, this will be Gemini. Now for you, this can disturb a little bit your sleep. You may be a bit more, you may need to be more responsible for your health. Could be that your drive to the mysticism will increase. Desire to spend time on your own, to visit temples. Also this. Could be that you'll be driven to clear out enemies around yourself. This is one thing. You may be very driven to knowledge, to travel, to research, to enlightenment. This is another thing. Main thing is you may detach from the routine and desire to be on your own. The main topic will be health. People who have sidereal ascendant Gemini and moon in Gemini, or if you prefer the modern astrology, this will be Cancer. For you, now this whole situation will be happening on your 6th house with Uranus, 5th house. You may need to be, you may experience change in your social circle, really change your interests, how you make money. Your drive will be different, like you desire to generate incomes differently, probably. You'll be driven to different people. You may need to be a little bit cautious with your romantic life. Your drive to mysticism also will be very, very strong, especially until end of January 2023. After that, you may feel that you need to study, to research, to continue education, like that. People who have sidereal ascendant Cancer or moon in Cancer, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Leo. For you, this is happening on your career place. You may be driven to career achievements, career goals, change your career career focus, career goals. You may need to be cautious with your your relationship. There is the thing. You may be cautious also not to be very impulsive when it comes to career decisions, and very careful with your relationship. People who have sidereal ascendant Leo or moon in Leo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be a Virgo. Now for you, this is happening on axis, which is related very much to desire to travel, to communicate with people abroad, to study, very strong drive to study. You may be able even to reach unbelievable knowledge, enlightenment. It could be very, very interesting. You may need to be cautious with brothers and sisters. There you may have challenges, or how you communicate with people in general. You may need to be responsible for your health as well, a little bit, and to be, yes, mainly this. People who have sidereal ascendant Virgo or moon in Virgo, or if you're following the modern astrology, tropical astrology, this will be Libra. Now for you, you may have drive to generate finances through others, or this can have impact on the finances of your partner. Could be that if the lunar nodes are well placed in your horoscope, or if you have a benevolent planet in your 8th house, this could even bring finances which you didn't expect, or generated through unexpected sources. You may be driven to make money with somebody else in collaboration. On the other hand, you may have some challenges with family roots. You may need to fix things with family, like things from before can come up which you need to fix. You may need to be responsible and attentive with children, and with your partner also, a little bit careful and diplomatic. People who have sidereal ascendant Libra or moon in Libra, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Scorpio. You will have Ketu on your ascendant for 18 months now. This can make you selfless, devoting yourself to the other, to your partner. This means that you may lack the balance and put the partner before yourself. This could be lacking the balance. Then you have to make sure that you restore the balance in your relationship, so that you keep harmonious relationship, because your relationship may suffer a little bit. Also at home, you may experience certain dose of disharmony, which can impact your career. So you have to be a bit cautious. On the other hand, you can be very driven to relocate or acquire property like that, which is okay. Just make sure to be harmonious with yourself and balanced with your partner. Don't forget that you are important. Don't put the others before yourself. This can give you, of course, very interesting spiritual experiences and personal achievements. In this sense, this will be very good. People who have sidereal ascendant Scorpio or moon in Scorpio, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Sagittarius. For you, this whole thing is happening on interesting places of your routine, of your health will become important. You can become very administrative, very routine. However, you need to watch out a little bit for enemies, secret enemies. You can be a little bit too much in the routine. You need to be to be able to reestablish balance between you know, your routine and also your own space. It's like to balance this, to find place, time and place for yourself, and also for your job, everyday job routine. You need to be cautious a little bit in terms of communication, how you communicate with others, with brothers and sisters as well. People who have sidereal ascendant Sagittarius or moon in Sagittarius, or in the modern tropical astrology, this will be Capricorn. Now for you, all this is happening on your 5th house, 11th houses. This will have impact on your drive to make money, how you make money, how you generate your incomes. This can make you driven to creative knowledge. This can make you driven to creative studies, to do some activity which would be involving art, let's say, or you can remember that you were talented in something and redo it, bring it in your life. This will impact your social circle, how you make money, like one door can change another to open, because you'll be driven to other things. Social circle, meaning you may find other friends, and some doors will be closed, other will open, and you may need to be attentive with children. Yes, but mainly financially, you may go through different decisions, interests, but the finances may be seriously impacted by these important changes of the lunar nodes. People who have sidereal ascendant Capricorn or moon in Capricorn, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Aquarius. Now for you, the whole thing is happening on your axis of 4th, 10th houses. You may feel not very driven to build career. You may say, I want to do things on my own. I want to establish my own business. I want to do this at home. I'm driven more to real estate. I'm driven to property. I want to do things in my own home business, or I want to do things alone, not with others, not teamwork. This is very possible. Very possibly is that you also totally change your plans. You desire to achieve totally different things. It is very much shift of your own interests, but they will not be very careeristic, that's for sure. Especially strong, this will be until end of January 2023. After that, things will change, but before that, it will be seriously related to your career and desiring not to be very much careeristic. You may not feel motivated in this career place. You may think of your own occupation and business. People who have sidereal ascendant Aquarius or moon in Aquarius, or in the modern astrology, this would be Pisces. For you, this thing is happening on your axis of 9th, 3rd houses. Enlightenment, communication, spirituality. This will be seriously impacted. You may be more driven to your brothers and sisters. You may be more driven to communication work, writing, maybe even traveling, not long distance, but like researching certain area, traveling, writing, communication work. You may, this is different type of education. You may say, no, I will not do university type of education. I will do something different. I'll make my own research. This Rahu on the 9th, Ketu on the 9th will not be helpful when it comes to completing education. You may, before, if you were driven and if you were busy with, let's say, university, education, higher education, Rahu there can be really can cause delay in completing it. So you may need to create this balance so that you manage to complete what you started, let's say. So this is very important. In addition, you may watch with hidden enemies, and you may be responsible for your health in the meantime. And then the last one is Pisces or moon in Pisces, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Aries, now for you, this happens to be on the axis of money. You'll be driven to make money, very driven. You may be driven to family roots. You may be driven to say, now I have to generate my own incomes. I have to make money. You may not count on finances that come from partnerships or the finances of your partner. You will think of your own finances. This will be even more supported by Saturn in your 11th house. Very much about finances. Also, very important will be the your social circle. People that you considered friends may not be friends. Like you may experience changes there, and you may need to be attentive with children. There you may have some disharmony created. In terms of finances, you need to reestablish this balance, to be careful, diplomatic, not impulsive. So ladies and gentlemen, this is about this very important world, mundane, astrological transit of Rahu, Ketu, for the next 18 months, starting from end of March 2022 until October of 2023. They will be causing the eclipses which will trigger the change which I listed. The eclipses will also before April, May, and October, November. They will be happening. I think the first one was 30th of April. Then we have on the 7th, 8th May, and then we have October. I forgot the date. Which was the date in October? 25th of October, and then 7th, 8th of November. So 30th of April, solar partial. 15th May, lunar total. 25th of October, solar partial. 7th, 8th of November, lunar total. See, very important. All on the axis of Libra, Aries, all triggering what I just listed. Hostility is not really peace. Peace we cannot expect. Really very much in the year of 2022, but at least we're free from this very, very heavy cycle of Mars, starting disease-like situation for the world. And you see, at the moment he changed position, this also ended. So I hope this was useful for you. See you very soon.